Hey everyone, it's Ryan1940 here. Today we're taking a look at DCS and we are looking at the WWY server, WWXY server. It is a franchise server of WWX, that's why it's got a very similar name, and we're actually on the Germany map. And if you know about WWX, you'll know about the logistics stuff. We won't talk too much about that, but today I want to show you the troop drops and stuff in it, because it's got some real neat features. The troop drops, the troops will actually like run to the battle positions to take them over. And we'll hopefully get some CASEVAC stuff going, because that is a really neat feature as well that I want to show you guys. So first off, let's just load our troops in. Okay, so I've got looks like 5 special forces squads, and we want to go take over one of these neutral battle positions, which is one of these guys. We're up at Fulda Airport here, so we can go ahead and let's figure out the course we need to fly. So 210, put that on here. Alright, this server does not allow you to see your like GPS position or anything like that, so you actually do have to navigate, and hopefully you can do that, or if you know the navigation systems in your aircraft, you can use those. We're going to go ahead and alright, let's request takeoff and then just do a rolling takeoff here in the MI-8. Now I've been playing this server pretty much all day because it has been quite addicting, and you'll see why. Alright, let's throw a little collective in. We'll push the cyclic forward so we can build our speed. There we go. Nice. Alright, so we want to go 210. A great landmark here is the, can't see it just yet. Well, maybe we can zoom in. It's alright. It says checked in, check CSAR menu for active rescues. That there is a great landmark for the southern battle points. And what that corresponds to here is this radar thing. So if you can see that, and you can then navigate from that point. But we know where we're going. Now, for the CSAR menu for active rescues, let's go ahead and check. CSAR. Alright, so there's none at the moment. What happens is if pilots get shot down, this is a little bit more advanced than what you normally see on other servers. Not only can you rescue them, but there's a chance that enemy forces will try to converge on that pilot's location, so they kind of have a limited amount of time that they're going to be around. And that makes it pretty cinematic for you if you come in to try and pick them up, and then all of a sudden you're engaging with small arms fire, guys shooting up at you as the groups are trying to swarm over where the pilot's at. So this is a fun server if you want to fly like a 2-ship and you kind of have an escort with you. I highly recommend that. And same thing for the CASEVACs. Basically, those battle positions that we see, if they switch hands, or if they're lost, if like red owned a battle position and then blue took it over, there's a chance that a CASEVAC event occurs, and so now you, using your active rescue menu thing there, you'll see a list of pickups. Oh, looks like we got 9. You'll see a list of pickups, and then from those pickups you'll get a beacon to fly to, so you can use your ARC-9 to home in on it and then go pick them up on the ground. There'll be a BMP ambulance, I think, or a BMD, and there'll be black smoke. You go and pick up the guy, you can hover over them or just land, and they'll actually run to you, which is really neat. And then there's like a mini game, so you actually have to pick up the guy and then fly him all the way to this hospital icon that's up here. There's a ARC-9 beacon for that as well, so you can plug in 600 kilohertz and it'll guide you to the hospital. But while you're doing that, the patient's health might start to fade away, so there's different treatment things that you can give them to kind of extend their life. So you got to keep on top of that while you're cruising back to the hospital. What's really neat is if you're flying multi-crew with somebody, the second person can actually see the same thing, so they can manage the patient stuff for you if you just want to fly and you don't want to focus on that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's pretty neat. Hoping we get that going because it looks like because these aren't captured yet, that the server probably restarted not too long ago, and we're just seeing the initial waves of takeovers here. And there's another, yeah, there's even the northern sections here. You can see these vehicles maneuvering. Oh, these are probably the convoys, yeah, that are going to the front depots. So, like the other WWX base servers, there's a whole logistics side of things. You can transport supplies yourself, or you can go interdict them. You can blow up a logistics train if you find it, and then destroy a pretty good amount of supply that would have gone to a depot. And then you can also interdict the supplies that go from those depots via trucks to frontline depots. When you do that, the AI commander has less things that they can use. Oh, they have lower tier stuff, and these AI commanders are fighting over these battle positions with the supplies they have on hand, and what they actually take into account what they think the other side has, and so it's good to keep everybody supplied up and try to harm the supply of the other side. So this brown field right here is where we need to land. If you want to, actually, we should focus first, and I'll talk about how I know that. So I know that the wind speed, or the wind direction here that we want to fly into is 040. So we're going to turn around, we're going to burn off a lot of speed, and we're going to add some collective in because the radar RPM is going to kind of drop right now. There we go. It should start to recover just in time for us to roll out and get on the path into this brown field. Hopefully this is enough troops to flip this battle position. And it does take a few minutes, and if your helicopter load doesn't flip it, then you'll probably want to go get some more, and then you can go ahead and then it'll for sure flip. Alright, here we go. Okay, we got touchdown, there we go. Turn the brake on. Okay, so now I go to my troop menu, put F10 other, and then we can just go to unload all troops, and then they're all here. So what's really cool about this is if I didn't actually, you see them running off, but if I didn't actually land there in this battle position, oops, we're way down here. If I'm within 1 nautical mile of the battle position, they will run out wherever you dropped them off at, and then they'll go run and take it over. So we captured this. You can't pick up troops and then move somewhere else, because once you do that, if this is vacated, then obviously we'll lose the position. So you have to maintain having troops there. So we'll have to go get some more troops, and then we'll see if any of these other guys that are captured get flipped. So we'll go pick this up after I get another load of soldiers in from Fluta. Okay, well, it looks like we've got a CASEVAC that just popped up. Battle position 12 has been destroyed. That was the place that we just dropped those guys off. So what likely happened is the enemy was also sending actual troops and stuff to that position, or armor, and so that was no match for what was going on with what we've put down there with just simple light infantry. So I want to double check what that beacon is. I know where to go, but I just want to demonstrate to you guys what you can do here. So we'll say active rescues, and then so we got the signals 490 kilohertz. So if we just dial that in, 490, and then I've got that set to arc 9, and then if I change this to the compass, we've picked up the signal. If you want to turn that volume down, just turn that gain all the way down. And now that compass needle, that solid one, is pointing right at that beacon. So we can go ahead and fly back there, and then we're going to go pick up the CASEVAC cases that were established. So a guy named Klaus needs to get picked up. Alright, we should probably tell our gunners to free fire, because it might get a little dicey down there. I don't know what they have, and in fact if they have armor, it's going to be quite dangerous for us because that... Actually, we'll see where the pickup position is. Depending on where it could be, if the pickup's like in a field or something, and the enemy has the higher ground, obviously we're going to be in a bad position to pick those guys up safely. However, if they are behind a hill or something like that, then we can use some terrain masking to stay safe. So we shouldn't be too far away. I think we're just over the crest here. I'm excited for this. I've always wanted to show this off because I think it's a really nice feature that one of the developers for the WWX code base made, and I think a lot of people, if they saw what you can do here, would enjoy playing this. Imagine doing these combat pickups for casualties. So okay, we're gonna call out 11 o'clock. All right, it's this smoke right here. So yeah, it is what, like a BMD. So you can hover to pick them up, or you can go ahead and just land and pick them up. So I think we might do a landing. We'll see. We probably botched this approach. See if I can slide it in. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dive down and kind of circle around and then come to a landing. There we go. So you have to be kind of close to them. You've got, I think, even for the if you landed and picked them up, you've got to be under 40 meters. So he's likely on the other side of the smoke somewhere. Meters, 10 meters to 11 o'clock. Alright, we're pretty close. Okay, we'll just do a hover pickup, I guess. 18 seconds. So the hip has a really good drift indicator, which kind of helps you lock into place and stay in a hover. Okay, we've got the guy on board. We're ready to RTB. There will, I think, be usually 3 or 4 CASEVAC cases that are generated from one instance of it. So after the battle position gets lost, this will happen 3 or 4 times for the same spot. They don't all happen at once because the idea is that some of these patients are getting picked up and ready from the battlefield ambulances and then brought to that pickup site. So we'll probably come back and get the other guys. But this is really neat, so if you're playing with multiple people on, you can make a run back to the hospital and someone else can pick up the other guys. So to do that, let's switch this to 600. Alright, and our compass has changed. Now, if you forget that 600 kilohertz thing, all you got to do is everything you need to know about how to play WWX series of servers is all here. You zoom out, you can see that. So the hospital is at 600 kilohertz right there. So everything that you need to know, like what special codes to use artillery, that kind of stuff, or what to go after for logistics and things like that, and all the beacons, it's all posted on the map. So it's all right in front of you. And if you have trouble and something's not on the map and you think it should be, you can join their Discord. The WWX servers, well, they call them the franchise servers. So there's WWX is the main one, right? And then you've got WWY and WWZ. I think Z is on Sinai, so I can't play it because I don't have the Sinai map. But this one is currently on Germany, but they do switch, so those server owners swap them out. Sometimes they're Cold War stuff, sometimes they're just World War II things. Alright, so Klaus is looking forward to that hospital chow. About 15 minutes. I think that's how much time they have to stay alive. Eventually, we're going to have to do like some patient treatment stuff. Oh, I should also say there are enemy jets. So this is a PvP but also PvE server. There are friendly AI bombers and interceptors and fighter cap kind of things like that, and the enemy also does that. So, you know, occasionally they're going to send tornado aircraft to go bomb your depots, and they'll also have F4s that are patrolling around that could shoot you down. So you'll have to be aware. In fact, we're flying pretty high, but I think that we'll be okay. I think we're within SAM coverage around here. Yeah, this map is beautiful. It's just insane how large the download is. I think it's over, what, 200 gigs or something? 100 gigs? It's just massive. But the detail is just absolutely nuts. I mean, there's things like the switching lights and stuff on train tracks that like works. That radar tower that we flew past, if you look at a close-up of that, it's just immensely detailed. Alright, it looks like Klaus's blood pressure is dipping. Possibly an artery was nicked. A limb tourniquet might buy some more time. So this is like kind of the mini game that you play with your medical patients on board. So you hit F10 other, you can go to the CSAR menu and then show the onboard list. And we've got Klaus. Sometimes you might have 3 or 4. And so we want to apply the tourniquet. So, alright, so the staff in the back there, they're applying the tourniquet to Klaus. So hopefully we buy him some more time. Alright, there we go. That's the hospital right there. We're probably gonna, we're gonna circle off to the left and come back upwind and then land, because the wind's coming from the 040. That will help our lift. Love the sounds of the rotor and the engines in this helicopter, and it really corresponds to what you're doing. Something that is really lacking in Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, this simulator has its problems as well. It doesn't have the great wind modeling and thermals and that kind of stuff, but it does simulate the way the rotor RPMs work against what you're doing, and then how the engine RPM is working against what you're doing. It's got its trade-offs. Dream of a sim one day that's got the best of both worlds. Okay, this is a little tricky, but it's okay. I think what we'll do is we'll just do a pedal turn and kind of descend right down. And then we'll pedal turn. Let's drift over to the side. Okay. Good. Alright, it says we successfully delivered him to the forward hospital. Let's see what the landing spot looked like. It's kind of a little weird visual glitch here. It just shows us hovering, but we're sitting on the landing pad. Not too bad. That's kind of like right in the middle. Well, a little off to the left, but whatever. It was slightly tricky because we wanted to fly in this direction because of the wind, and we'd have to rotate around to get square with it. I didn't quite trust if I came in at an angle that I wouldn't accidentally yaw and then hit that thing with my tail rotor and then ruin the video. So now that we've done that, I think what we should do is probably call it quits. If you want to try this out, definitely go out and try to seek for the WWY server. I think if you search for that, you should be able to find it, or at least WWX, and then that should pop up as well, because that is a part of the name of the server. So WWXY is what it's called. And yeah, it's got a lot of cool features. I mean, you see here, just you can fly like the Yak and do some artillery strikes. You can build your own fire bases. So you've got an artillery gun here. This is the range of it. You can call in artillery strikes, if you wanted by using markers. You can use a yak and be like a forward air controller. There's just a ton of stuff, so please go try it out. This one in particular is WWXY, and it's running the Cold War Germany map, which is a sweet, awesome map, and we got to see some cool CASEVAC functions that I think you should try out. I think if you're flying with a lot of people, it's going to be really sweet to have some hot pickups with you going in really quickly to go pick somebody up, and then having your buddies like in a hind or hip configuration with rockets and stuff just nuking the tree lines to suppress the enemy so that you can pick somebody up and then take them all the way over to the hospital, and then rinse and repeat. You can do your troop drops, have them run out to the battle positions and take them over. Anyways, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll get to them as soon as possible. See you next one. Bye.